Welcome back to Sweet Urban Living. This is Beth, the Sweet Urban Living lady, and in today's video, I want to talk about the supplements we used after surgery. Whether your surgery is planned or if you have unexpected emergency surgery, there are natural supplements that can help you. It can aid your recovery and speed the healing process after surgery. So we're going to share 5 natural supplements that we are taking to help us with the pain, inflammation, and damage to the surrounding tissue and with overall recovery. Plus, we're going to share 2 homeopathic. What are you doing, Mr. Sweet?
Well,
I don't have cooties.
sweet little oven mitt.
Oh, you mean Miss Little Oven Mitt?
Miss Little Oven Mitt.
Miss Little Oven Mitt.
One of our granddaughters was really concerned. She was watching one of our videos, and she was very upset that her pops was called Mr. Sweet. And it perplexed her greatly, so we tried to explain to her.
Now, keep in mind, she is all of 4 years old. Well, a little over 4 years old.
And so we're trying to explain to her stage names and that kind of thing. And she was having a little trouble with it, and so her father said, well, you know, when you watch VeggieTales and you see Larry be Larry Boy, he wears a costume and he has a new name.
And he has a mask.
I sent her several pictures over time of me wearing anything from an eye patch where I had lost contact and couldn't see, to
a surprise anniversary where he showed up in a mystery mask with some roses and things like that.
And hunting garb where my face was covered and all that. And so she finally understood, and she said that her stage name is
Little Miss Oven Mitt.
Little Miss Oven Mitt.
Yes. So Little Miss Oven Mitt, this is Mr. Sweet when we are on video. Thank you for letting us take that side trip. That was fun. What we want to share with you, like I said, are 5 natural supplements that we are taking to help us with the pain, the inflammation, and the damage that has been done to the surrounding tissues following surgery. Plus, they help with overall recovery. So we're going to share 3 homeopathic remedies that we're using that helps with bruising, nerve pain, deep pain, tendons, and things like that. But first, I want to be sure to remind everyone that you need to let your doctors know any natural supplements you are taking or will be taking, especially if you are also on medication. So while the supplements we are taking post-surgery are generally considered safe to take, everyone is different and your situation is unique to you. You may be taking medications that we aren't, or you may have health conditions that we don't. So please be sure to let your doctor know that you are taking any supplements to aid in your recovery, or if you're taking supplements for any other reason, please let your doctor know when you're having surgery or any other medical situation. They need to know. So first, I want to share what happened.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Real quickly. You saw this, and she said 1 scheduled, 1 emergency. Can you guess who had which?
I was the emergency surgery. Mr. Sweet, you were scheduled to have surgery. It was about 5 weeks ago. You had scheduled surgery on a Thursday. What kind of surgery did you have and why?
Working for the utility company, I use my hands a lot, very heavily, and the arthritis in this bone, I don't know if I was in camera, right here at the base of the thumb, is on both hands, is so heavily covered in arthritis that, and the pain was such, nothing was working, so they had to remove the bone at the base of the thumb on this hand, and in a couple of weeks, in about 2.5 months or so, they're going to do it again in this hand.
Yeah. So we were planning on surgery for you, but we were not planning on surgery for me.
I was planning on being taken care of and babied during this time.
So the Tuesday before Rob's surgery,
that's 2 days.
2 days, I had an emergency appendectomy. On the Monday before, I that evening I had had my dinner and I wanted something else to eat, and I was like, ooh, we have some roasted peanuts. We don't have roasted peanuts in the house often. They're a treat. And I was like, I had some, and after I ate them, about, I guess it was maybe 20 or 30 minutes later, I started feeling this like pain in the lower right quadrant, and I'm like, okay, well, that night was horrible. It was near bedtime anyway, close enough. So he went to bed and I couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. But you know, actually what I thought probably happened was that one of the nuts got stuck in the ileocecal valve, and that it was stuck open or poking in, or you know, something like that. So I wasn't really concerned until, you know, the next morning I felt pretty horrible.
And I was blamed for bringing the roasted peanuts into the house.
So so I was like, well, let's go to the chiropractor, because the chiropractors that we use applied kinesiology and are familiar with acupuncture meridians, and they've helped me with the ileocecal valve being stuck open before. So I was like, that's probably what it is. Except for that's not what it was. And I had the thought that it might be a naughty appendix. I was really hoping that it was not a naughty appendix, that it was the ileocecal valve. But as soon as I got into my appointment, and the doc kind of looks at me and goes, I think it's appendix. And his wife is also a chiropractor, called her in. She also said, I think this is appendix. So we immediately headed to the emergency room, and my blood work was great. Even my white blood count was not up. I was not running a fever. I was slightly nauseous, no vomiting or anything like that. It was just being in pain in the right lower quadrant, guarding, all that. So they did a CT scan, and it confirmed appendicitis. And so by that time, I think by the time we got the results, it was like 4:00 in the afternoon, and they scheduled me for an appendectomy. It was supposed to be at 6, and then they had a true emergency that kind of bumped me, and I had the surgery, I think about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I was in a room upstairs around 10:30, something. I don't remember. I was out of it. But I do remember the next day, and the pain was different and there. So once we got home, we started as soon as we could, because at first my stomach, I had an appendectomy, so the notes said that they swept my small intestines upward. And I'm like, yeah, I think I could feel that there was some moving around going on. So anyway, as soon as we could, we started taking supplements to help with recovery. Now, keep in mind, like I said, or like Mr. Sweet said, he was supposed to be waited on hand and foot by me. I would have been taking care of him, but it turns out he ended up taking care of me. And then when you had surgery, we had to have our kids come take care of both of us. My sister came and helped too. So we had family coming and helping. So doing some research about what we should do following surgery, I came across quercetin and bromelain as one of the best things that we can take. Now, I have had an herb shop for years and have used herbs for years and other supplements. These are supplements, not really herbs, but having had an herb shop, I kind of lump them all together and go, take this herb. These are supplements. Quercetin is actually a phytonutrient, and it's a powerful antioxidant. It's considered to be one of the strongest and best flavonoids out there. There are numerous flavonoids, but it has numerous benefits. It's great for the immune system, and it's often recommended during the winter months to help with congestion. It's also sometimes recommended to help with allergies in the spring and summer. So for those who've had surgery, like me and Rob, Mr. Sweet, the benefits are really abundant because quercetin helps decrease the inflammation that is often experienced following surgery. It signals the body to downregulate the hormones and enzymes that the body naturally produces. So once you have a trauma or an injury or some surgery, the body naturally starts to respond and it sends out soldiers from the immune system to help repair the wounds, but it creates inflammation in the body because of the surgery or the trauma. The quercetin helps the body to respond to the surgery and addresses the inflammation. Quercetin helps with tissue damage caused by surgery and helps remove cells that have been damaged. And because it is an antioxidant, it helps fight free radicals that can damage the DNA and the tissues that are being affected. So where they've, I know some people are going to watch this and go, don't talk about it, but where they cut into us and they removed my appendix, the areas around that were traumatized. Where they took the bone out of your thumb near your wrist, that area has definitely experienced some trauma. So quercetin is really good for that. Now, bromelain stands on its own, and it is a wonderful supplement all by itself. And I have often recommended bromelain to my clients and my customers who deal with digestive issues or joint mobility, respiratory issues, sinus issues, and things like that. Now, bromelain is an enzyme mixture from pineapple that breaks down proteins. It's known to help sinusitis, joint inflammation and pain. It's a digestive aid, and it is even recognized as helping fight cancer. So it's really beneficial for us because following surgery, there's pain, there's inflammation, and bromelain is known as a pain reliever and an anti-inflammatory. So when it comes to post-surgery, bromelain is really a winner combined with quercetin. Now, you haven't been taking this.
I didn't know.
And he didn't know because following surgery, I wasn't up to my best. And I wasn't thinking about how I could help him. I was just trying to, people were taking care of me. But now that I'm going, oh yeah, you need to be taking that, he is now taking quercetin and bromelain together because bromelain helps the quercetin. It moves the quercetin out of the digestive system into the bloodstream so that it has more effect on the body. So we definitely want to include that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So have you, the viewer, have you had surgery? What supplements and topical aids have you used that were helpful in your recovery? What did you use that helped you recover more quickly? Would you drop a comment below and tell us what worked for you? So we're going to share a few more supplements. Following my surprise surgery, I was reading through the information from the hospital, and one of the things that they emphasized to me was that I needed to work on breathing deeply. And the first couple of days following the surgery, I really didn't notice anything about my lungs. I didn't have any issues with lungs. There was no concern there for me. But starting about the third day, I did notice that it hurt to take deep breaths. I would just, I'm not even talking about really deep breaths. I'm just talking about a good in breath. It would hurt. And the concern here following this kind of surgery, I think any kind of surgery to the abdomen or in the chest, thoracic area would have that same concern for the lungs. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. It just kind of makes sense that I think my diaphragm may have been bruised a little bit and during the surgery. And so taking deep breaths, it hurt. It would catch, and I could feel, I don't want to call it congestion because I don't really feel like I had congestion, but I felt like I could have had congestion if I didn't breathe deeply. If you've been following me, you know that I've enjoyed a wonderful plant affair with a mullein plant named Audrey III. And Audrey III is a plant I rescued and cultivated, and I started it last year, and this year we cultivated some of the flowers. And so I started using mullein. Mullein is great for supporting lung health. I pulled out my mullein, I started taking it, and I could tell there was an immediate difference. It was no longer painful for me to breathe, and I could take those deep breaths much more easily. It wasn't like it went away completely. I had to stay on the mullein for several days to keep my lungs clear and to help me breathe deeply. And I have a playlist on my Mullein adventures at the end of my videos, and it was really a lot of fun. We named Audrey III. We named the plant, or Mr. Sweet, you named Audrey.
Yes.
Yes. So watch our videos on Mullein. Like I said, the playlist will be at the end. It was a fun little adventure, but we share the benefits of Mullein and our adventure with Mullein. It's not that scary, I promise. So, all right. So following my surgery, I didn't want to eat much. I was not really hungry. I thought I was going to be hungry. I was like, okay, yes, I'll eat, but I couldn't. My digestive system.
White toast. I have never, ever had her ask for plain white toast.
Yeah.
In 39 years together.
Yeah. I don't want white bread. Y'all see my videos on sourdough. You know I'm not a fan of processed flours, but I couldn't stomach heavy foods. My digestive system was a little bit wonky. And you know, wonky is a technical term that should be used with care. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It means out of whack.
Yep.
Or something ain't right.
Cattywampus.
Cattywampus. Well, something was definitely not right with my digestive system for several days. So something that I used that was very soothing was peppermint and ginger tea. Both peppermint and ginger are great for the digestive system. They're soothing. They help calm the digestive system. They help with nausea and vomiting and things like that. Again, I wasn't really experiencing nausea or vomiting, but you know, I was wonky. So Mr. Sweet, you and I have a video where we taste test ginger and peppermint.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. Especially when I got to drink ginger tea.
Yeah. We explained the benefits of ginger and peppermint in that video, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here in this one. Just suffice it to say, it was doing a ginger peppermint tea was very soothing, and we had a lot of fun with that video too. So I'll drop a link for that in the comment section in the description below, so you can see, you can watch that one. VSC is an herbal combination I also chose to take because it helps to support the immune system. And since I had spent a lot of time, or about 24 hours or so, well, it was kind of, about a little more than 20.
It was over 30.
30 hours or so in the hospital where microbes and bacteria flourish, I wanted to support my immune system, especially since I had weakened it by the surgery. So VSC is an herbal combination that helps remove waste and toxins from the lungs and the large intestines, and it helps the body fight against viruses and bacteria and other microbes. So that was a good plus because I didn't want to get sick following my surgery. Now we're going to talk about the homeopathics in a little bit, so let's hold off on those. But following your surgery, you took IF Relief and Zyflamin.
Yes. Now,
IF Relief is for when there's too much heat in the body. When the body responds to an injury, it's natural for the body to respond, like I said earlier in the video, with heat. But when the heat continues to be too much, it can actually cause further damage to the body. Mm-hmm. And the herbs found in this herbal formula, IF Relief by Nature's Sunshine, helps the body fight inflammation and eliminate that heat, that excess heat that causes stiffness and pain. And it also helps support the immune system. So you've been taking IF Relief for a while now.
Years.
How has it been helping you?
Well, I've had two knee surgeries, 2 years apart, coming up on, it's been over 9 years ago for the first one. Mm-hmm. And I take both the Zyflamin and the IF Relief twice a day. I take both of them because if I don't, the swelling in my knee gets bad and it hurts to walk. It always hurts to walk, but it hurts to walk more. If I run out of one within a couple of days of only taking one, mm-hmm. it comes back. It's the combination. Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's what works for you. That's what we found works for you. You're you're active, you walk, you squat. You said you use your hands a lot, but you're up and down in a bucket to reach the utility that you need to. You sometimes go down into manholes. So you're active. And even though you had the surgery, there's still inflammation
Yep.
and arthritis. The doctor
Yes.
said there was arthritis there. So even though they did the surgery and it helped, there's still ongoing pain because there's ongoing inflammation. So when we have pain in the body, it's the inflammation in those areas that's causing the pain. And by keeping the inflammation down, it helps. So because I was still, I was the one having to be taken care of, you kept taking the Zyflamin and the IF relief to help you following. Now, Zyflamin is by New Chapter.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I actually did not, the first few days, I didn't take them because I wasn't thinking about it. I was not taking any of my normal supplements because, well, the first few days, our daughter, well, the first night, our daughter spent the night with us. But our daughter and son-in-law and little Miss Oven Mitts were with us most of the time for several days. And during that, so someone else was doing things, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I was in too much pain to think about it. So once all of a sudden the red light went off, the bulb lit up, and I went, oh yeah, I probably should be taking my normal anti-inflammatory daily supplements, and started up.
Yeah. Now, Zyflamin by New Chapter has 10 different herbs in it. It has turmeric and ginger, rosemary, green tea, holy basil, and several others. And this herbal combination is a powerful pain reliever, and it supports mobility, which is why it's so good for you while you're on the job, and it reduces inflammation as well. And it promotes healing too. So this is great. It worked for him. And that's one of the things that, we ended up not taking the same thing because they happened so close together and unexpectedly. And that's the beauty of herbs and supplements, is there are so many out there available, and they do work. And just because I was taking this and you were taking these doesn't mean either one of us was wrong to take what we took. They're both supplements and herbals that help with pain and inflammation and recovery. Now, I do want you to take this one too because it helps with protecting the DNA and things like that, and it helps remove toxins out of the system. So we do want to do that too.
Yeah.
All right.
And I wasn't going to be wrong because I did whatever she told me to do.
Now let's talk about some homeopathics that we took as well. So the first one we took was arnica. And there are different, this is arnica 30C. This is what we had. And you can get 200C. And a lot of people recommend, a lot of homeopathic practitioners recommend 200C following surgery of whatever we may have. We had the 30, and that's okay too. So the C or the X speaks to the potency, and it's Roman numerals. So C would stand for 100. If you have something that has X, that stands for 10. And it has to do with the potency. So following surgery, a lot of homeopathic practitioners will recommend the 200C. We had the 30C on hand. That's what we went with.
So was 200C more potent or less potent?
More potent, yeah. That's a good question. So we did the arnica, and arnica is known to help with bruising. It's often suggested following surgery, even by medical doctors, not just naturopaths. It is also helpful in alleviating pain and inflammation. People use it for bumps and bruises of all kinds. And some doctors even recommend using arnica before surgery to help prevent bruising, while other doctors recommend that you avoid arnica 2 weeks before surgery because some reports say that it's known as a blood thinner. Now, Rob and I both use arnica internally following the surgery, and I used it topically as well to help with the bruising from the 3 incisions that I had that were made during the laparoscopic surgery. And let me just say, I am glad to have had laparoscopic surgery. I cannot imagine having open surgery for those of you who have had that. Wow, because the recovery from laparoscopic surgery wasn't easy. It has not been easy. I'm not fully released as of the filming of this. I'm still in the recovery stage.
You're literally 5 weeks today.
Yeah, so I'm still in the recovery stage, and I am very thankful for the support that we have had. And arnica is one of those because it helps with bruising. So I used that, and then we also used the homeopathic hypericum. That was one that Mr. Sweet used, you used, Rob, and because it's known to help with nerve pain.
Yes.
And the nature of your surgery, you could really feel.
They cut along a nerve here, and so all of this is still numb. And we're basically, until all the swelling goes down and all that, we won't know if the feeling will come back or not.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Well, hypericum is known to help with healing of the nerves. And since you're taking it sooner and not waiting until the damage is done, we are hopeful that it will not be eternally numb for you. And because a bone was removed, laughing at me.
Eternally numb, and just sounds like a title.
So because a bone was removed and the tendons were rerouted basically in your hand
to support the thumb.
To support that area where the bone was removed, we introduced another homeopathic remedy, and that's symphytum. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. I'm from the South, so don't throw stones at me if I have pronounced that incorrectly. I learn by reading. Anyway, symphytum is a key homeopathic remedy that it helps with bones and ligaments and tendons. It's actually from the comfrey plant, which is very good for bones. It's called bone nut. And the homeopathic is used and recommended following surgeries on knees and wrists and shoulders, ankles and hips. Any kind of orthopedic surgery is when it is beneficial. Now we also use, so you can tell this is well used, I used Arnicare, which is a topical arnica. And I also, for me, because I had where the 3 incisions were, they were bruised pretty badly. And I also used Trauma Plant, which is a topical comfrey, because again, it was pretty badly bruised. So I used both of these to help reduce that bruising and the pain in those areas. So there you go. Now, there are a lot of supplements that can be used post-surgery, including vitamin C and B vitamins, multivitamins, and they help people recover from surgery as well. So these are just a few things that we used that we wanted to share. I'll have a list in the description below of what we used, where we got it, and how you can get it too. And we really hope that you don't have to have surgery, but if you have had surgery or you have a surgery coming up and you want to prepare for it, check these out and see if they won't help you with recovering as well.
And hopefully your spouse won't have emergency surgery right before your planned surgery, so that you have to take care of them instead of the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah, so be praying for Mr. Sweet, and that I will be healthy to take care of him at his next surgery event. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like our channel. We've got more helpful hints to come, more amusing stories to tell coming your way soon.